Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm happy to be able to read for you today. My name is Tandra Williams, and I'm the owner of Puffer Reds. My husband and I are the owners of Puffer Reds in downtown Ypsilanti. Again, I'm excited to read to you today, but before I get started, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. We've been married for 35 years, and we have 3 children. I have several hobbies that I enjoy doing. I'll just name a few. I'm a piano player. I enjoy playing the piano. I play for church. I play for weddings and funerals. And I also love exercising. I like to walk. I love tennis. I love to swim. And I love yoga. And lastly, I do like the water. And I love being out on the water and boating and everything like that. Mostly, I enjoy reading. I enjoy stories that make me cry, stories that make me laugh, and stories that tell me a lot about other things that keep on learning about stuff. And so today I'm going to read to you a couple of books. And today I'm going to read for you Those Shoes. This is by Maribeth Bolts and is illustrated by Noah Jones. Those Shoes. I have dreams about those shoes. Black high tops, 2 white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no way for no want around here, just need, Grandma says, and what you need are new boots for winter. Brandon T comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now. For me, I was always the fastest runner before those shoes came along. Nate comes to school with those shoes. Antonio and I can now count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall real slow so we can see his shoes. Next, Alan, Jacob, and Terrence each get a pair. And you can see they all have on those black and white shoes with the red and white stripes. Then one day in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes came apart. Looks like you could use a new pair, Jeremy, Mr. Alfrey, the guidance counselor says. We need to charge. He brings out a box of shoes and other stuff he has for kids who needs these. He helps me find the only shoes that are my size, Velcro, like the ones my little cousin Marshall wears. They have an animal on them from cartoon I don't think any kid ever watched. Those are the ones with the Velcro. When I come back to the class, Alan Jacoby takes one look at Mr. Alfred's shoes and laughs, and so do Terrence, Brandon, and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfred." I nod and I turn my back. I'm not going to cry about any dumb shoes. But when I'm writing my spelling words out later, every word looks like the word shoes, and my grip is so tight on my pencil, I think it might bust. And that's him doing his homework. On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money on the side. Might be enough, you never know." At the store, Grandma turns those shoes over so we can check the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. Oh. "Maybe they wrote it down wrong," I said. Grandma shakes her head. I think she might be a little disappointed. But you can see he's still really excited. Even he's there trying on the shoes that everybody wants, the black ones with the red stripes, white stripes. Then I remember the thrift shops. What if there's a rich kid who outgrew his or got 2 pairs for Christmas and had to give one of them away? We ride the bus to the first thrift shop. Black cowboy boots, pink slippers, sandals, high heels, every kind of shoes except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift shop. Not a pair of those shoes in sight. Around the corner is the 3rd thrift shop. I see something in the window. This is the thrift shop they're going to. I don't see his shoes, do you? Black shoes with 2 stripes, high tops, perfect shape, $2.50. I found those shoes. My heart is pounding hard as I take off my shoes and hitch up my baggy socks. How exciting, Grandma says. What size are they? I shove my foot into the first shoe, curling my toes to get my heel in. I don't know, but I think they fit. I'm excited to see if they're fitting. Grandma kneels on the floor and feels for my toes at the end of the shoe. Oh, Jeremy, she says, I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit. And you can see he's really trying hard to squeeze his foot into those shoes. Have you done that before? I have. I want a pair of shoes so bad that like I'm gonna try to make them fit anyway. I pull the other shoe on and try to walk around. They're okay, I say, holding my breath and praying that my toes will fall off right there and there. But my toes don't fall off. I buy them anyway with my own money and I squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. So he bought those shoes that didn't really fit him. But that's the ones he wanted. At home, a few days later, Grandma puts on a new pair of snow boots in my closet and doesn't say a word about my 2 big feet shuffling around in my 2 small shoes. Sometimes shoes stretch, I say, Grandma. And Grandma gives me a big hug. I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear Mr. Alfie to school instead. One day during math, I glanced at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. So after school, I head to the park to think. Antonio's there, the only kid who didn't laugh at my Mr. Alfie shoes. There's Antonio playing. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoe smacks the concrete every time he jumps. I think, I'm not going to do it. We leap off the swings. I'm not going to do it. We race from one end of the playground to the other. I'm not going to do it. I say, do what? Antonio says, breathing hard. He's breathing. Grandma calls me for supper and invites Antonio over too. After supper, he spies my shoes. How come you don't wear them? Antonio says. I shrug. My hands are sweaty. I can feel him wishing those shoes were his. That night, I'm awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. There they are, right by his bed. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat. Snow is beginning to fall as I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes in front of his door, push the doorbell, and I run. He left the shoes? Did he leave the shoes for Antonio? Let's see what happens. At school, Antonio is smiling big in his brand new shoes. I feel happy when I look at his face and mad when I look at my Mr. Alfie shoes. But later, when it's time for recess, something happens. Everywhere there is snow. Leave your shoes in the hall and change into boots, the teacher announces. Leave your shoes in the hall. It's then I remember what I have in my backpack. New boots, new black boots that no kid has ever worn before. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I smile and I give him a nudge. Does Antonio know that he was the one that gave him his shoes?